Peloton and how they've helped, and kind of diving more into the food and kind of how I've changed my diet tremendously and how that can really help you in the long run. And more so of on the music side of some of these classes that I've been taking and how music as a whole has just kind of really helped me through my life. And so to dive into what's been going on the last like week and a half for me in Peloton. Basically, I've just been taking classes here and there, and it's been a lot of shadow boxing and core and strength classes, things like that, just because I'm currently down in Long Beach Island, and we didn't have I didn't have access to a Peloton bike to use. Now that has since changed. I used it yesterday and I used it today. And pretty much it's going good. I probably need to buy a mat for it just because it's still a little wobbly. The floor in my room is definitely a little uneven, but so yeah, I decided to calculate the how many miles I've done since starting Peloton, which was back obviously in the last episode I said back in the end of February, and I'm well over 1,300 miles. Which, I mean, if you had told me a year ago that this is what I would be doing, which is a Peloton podcast, and the fact that I would be 1,300 miles, I would have laughed. And it's crazy to even think that because I just never, really did anything until the end, until February. And man, am I glad I did. But I've also for the month of June, I have the stats pulled up on my phone, or I got to pull them up. So far, or for the month of June, obviously June is still not over. I've taken 71 cycling classes, 25 stretching, 13 strength, 11 cardio classes, and I've ridden 401 miles, which I've blown out at just about every other month I've done, because I've done like 329, 333, and like 279 or something like that for the last couple of months. And then obviously February was very low, but yeah, I've still been working out every day, or at least trying to. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm just like, I really don't feel like doing anything, but I kind of force myself to do it. And I mean, I understand it, but I'm thankful that there's just a vast, variety of things that I can do to help myself with this. And like, so far in the month of June, I've used the Peloton for almost 30 hours. At 29 hours and 49 minutes. And I've burned over 29,000 calories, which is unbelievable. And also in June, I have PR'd 3 times. So my 20-minute PR went up to 232 output. My 30-minute PR went up to 384 output, and my 45-minute PR went up to 418 for output. So pumped about that. It was kind of nice. It was like back to back to back, so it felt great. Then, unfortunately, I took a couple days off of riding the bike to obviously come down to Long Beach Island, because I'm currently working down here for the summer. And yeah, so yesterday I took a 45-minute Hidden Hills ride with Kendall, did that. And then today I did a 30-minute and a 20-minute ride, 30-minute and 20-minute ride with Kendall as well. I use her classes. I use her classes a lot, but I just like the music she does, the energy, things like that. It's a lot of fun taking her classes. And I mean, obviously, like I've stated before, I've done 2 classes in person so far. Plan on doing more. I'm going to try to get one over the summer. Luckily, I worked out my work schedule. I have off on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I'm kind of praying that I can get one of those Monday classes at some point, which would be nice. But yeah, so that's basically kind of what I've been doing so far this week with Peloton. I mean, obviously, I know right now I'm recording this on Monday night. This will come out Tuesday, which is tomorrow, and I have what's it called? I'm trying to think of. I basically just kind of I don't really plan my workouts, but usually I try to incorporate some sort of strength class either before or after. Today it was I did 10 minutes of arm stuff after working out or doing the 30 minutes and the 20 minutes. So try to do that type of stuff, add on some strength classes in between or on the in the beginning or at the end. And that's pretty much how I structure mine. I try to work out for well over an hour, realistically. That's what I just think works best for me if I do it all in that time frame. So I have screwed up I have terrible time management, but I'm working on improving that, just like I'm working on improving my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule, that's another big thing in this too, is you definitely want to be able to get up earlier and kind of eat some stuff before you work out, because I've worked out on an empty stomach before multiple times and it has sucked. So, but kind of transitioning this over more into the food part. So I'm not sure if I stated this before, but basically before I really started paying attention to what I was actually eating, my eating habits were god awful. I'm not gonna lie at all about this, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. When I was younger, I used to eat just about everything. Vegetables, protein, everything like that, everything good for you. And as I got older and kind of had a little bit more access to what I wanted to eat and some of the other things I wanted to really eat, it was more of I couldn't really control myself around certain like foods. Like I snacked heavily. I'd eat 1 to 2 snacks in an afternoon. Sometimes I'd eat a whole bag of like microwavable popcorn, and then I'd have something else. Nighttime snacking was a big thing for me too. I would eat Cheetos, Funyuns, candy, a whole bunch of other things at night at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then go to bed. And that would be like my night. And that was because I'd eat lunch and then I wouldn't really eat dinner because I didn't necessarily like what my parents were making for me. And because it was a lot of, it was regular food and I didn't really want to eat that sometimes. And I ate out a lot. I ate a lot of for lunch. I'd go get big sandwiches, Doritos, sodas, that whole thing, and it was just a bad thing. I was really just spending my money on food. I'd get some money and it would go basically all towards food, and it sucked because that was what I was relying on a lot of the time. Like I would get hungry at like 11, 12 o'clock at night because I wouldn't eat enough throughout the day. And now that has since changed because I've drastically improved my diet, which is something that, believe me, I'm not the one to be taking, like, I'm not like, I'm still kind of learning everything. I'm not, a nutritionist or anything like that. But this is just kind of, what I've learned that has helped me. And so basically what I've been doing is I've been trying to burn um, at least 15,000 calories a day, which has been working so far. And pretty much what I try to do is do that while doing the Peloton and just kind of like, if there's anything else I'm doing outside or, taking my dog for a walk, things like that, which helps out tremendously. And the other thing I try to do is, kind of watch my caloric intake, which I've been doing very, very good with. So, a lot of times for lunch, I'd have like a big hero or, Doritos, soda, things like that, which obviously were not great for you. And um, so when I would eat that, I'd feel like shit the rest of the day, basically, because I'd eat a massive meal. And now what I'm kind of realized that's a little bit better is I'll have some ham, some cheese, some turkey, some cheese, and I kind of put. It kind of depends. Most of the time, if I have ham, I use mustard. I have a ham and cheese sandwich with mustard and turkey. and sometimes I get cold cut chicken, like the sliced chicken. That I have Nando's peri peri sauce, which is actually phenomenal. It's got a nice little kick to it. Great thing, spice up your sandwich, and usually just a handful of some chips or a handful of like Lay's or any other potato chip. I don't. Um, that's basically what I eat for lunch. Breakfast wise, I know it's backwards. I usually only eat lunch and dinner, but breakfast now I've started getting up a little bit earlier. It's usually like a banana, maybe a protein bar, or both. Sometimes depending on what. And now what I do snack wise is during the day, if I get hungry, I have these Sargento snack breaks, which are very good. It's usually like crackers and cheese or some sort of like nut mixture with like cranberries or some other um type of fruit in it with cheese, and they're really great. They hold me over until like dinner time, which is good. And with dinner, this is the other thing. I used to like when I was by myself, which I mean I'm by myself a lot, but like when I'm not home or when I'm home and I'm like I want to order something for dinner. I used to order Domino's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Taco Bell, like Chick-fil-A, like all those things. I mean, you can still eat Chick-fil-A. Like I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna eat it tomorrow, but I'm gonna obviously do grilled chicken instead of fried chicken, and like Popeyes, like all that. And now for dinner, I am starting to learn how to cook for myself. I know, shocker, I've just never really been interested in cooking, and now that I've been doing this, I've realized I need to start doing that in order to make better choices, so I can have like a more well balanced meal for dinner as opposed to fast food or some other garbage I'm not supposed to be eating. And that's pretty much what I've been focusing on a lot, which is not eating garbage. I've cut out a lot of stuff. I have not. I've eaten fast food probably like once, and it was just because I worked out late and there was not a lot of places open, so I just went to McDonald's, but that was a couple months ago. So, yeah. Other than that, like tonight, I had some grilled chicken, broccoli, and rice. That was my dinner, and I'm a big sweets guy. I'm a big dessert guy, and what I've learned is that there are desserts out there that you can have that are great. What I've opted to is I'm a big Oreo guy. I love Oreos. I just buy the Oreo thins, and the serving size is it's like four of them for like 140 calories, which is great. And that's pretty much what my dessert consists of. It's it's nice to have that type of option available. And yeah, I mean that's basically the things I eat the most. And then the other thing I throw in is I have like chicken Caesar salad or some other salad. I throw fish in a lot of times. I like salmon, flounder, tuna, those types of things. I'm also a big sushi guy, so that's another good thing to have too. Sushi is fantastic. There's this all you can eat place that I really enjoy to go to a couple times, and I've been there before came down to LBI. I went there a couple times. It was great, and yeah, sushi is definitely a great meal to have too. I feel because it's not as it's very filling and it's not like super heavy. I mean, obviously, you probably want to try to stay away from the more fried part of it, but that's pretty much my whole take with that. It's hit or miss basically with food. You never know. Like the other what happens a lot down when I'm down in Long Beach Island is the fact that I go to Wawa a lot. I'm a big Wawa guy. This is something that has also changed a lot too with me is I go to Wawa, I'd get a classic sandwich, which is like a full sandwich, and I'd get like a Philly cheesesteak, or I'd load it up with an Italian, which I love Italian sandwiches, but holy shit, is it terrible for you? And so I do that, or I do like some other thing. And now basically what I get from Wawa is I get a salad, or I get a turkey sandwich or ham with cheese and whatever on it. Cheese, sometimes I throw lettuce and tomato in there, some type of sauce on it, and I get on whole wheat. I don't go like that type of bread. And the bread I use for when I make a sandwich at home, it's 647, which is like a very low calorie bread. Highly recommended. I use the sandwich rolls. They're great. And so yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing to revolutionize my diet, because obviously, as I stated before, my diet was very unhealthy, very disgusting. I mean, literally, I saw a picture of myself from October. My brother and his wife were married this past October, and I saw a picture of myself and I was like, holy shit, I look disgusting. I was big, I was gross. I was like, I look like crap. And I look at myself now and I'm like, all it took was a couple months to really change that. And now it's unbelievable with like how just the not like necessarily the tiniest changes in lifestyle, but how some of these changes can just really revolutionize how you operate your way of life and how you can make it more positive and more like health conscious. Because I wasn't doing any of that. I barely exercised, barely ate great, and now I'm exercising every day, and I'm eating probably the best I've ever eaten in ever, actually. And now that I think about it, but yeah, it's a great feeling, and to kind of see that progress is just amazing for myself, because have definitely struggled with my body image and how I've looked and how um just how I've operated, with the sheer amount of food I've eaten, with the fact that I used to the other thing that I've done, which is I don't I don't drink a lot. I used to drink a lot. Well, not a lot. Not like I used to drink when I go out with my friends, drink to have a fun time, hang out, have a couple drinks. And what would happen is I'd get home and I would snack terribly. Um, Kind of the final straw was that for that was I paid a lot of money for a stuffed crust pizza from Papa John's after one night of drinking, and that was through DoorDash. And that's kind of why never again have I decided to really do that, because I like if I go out, I just kind of hang out, vibe to the music, which we're gonna get into music in a couple minutes, but I'll have like a drink or two depending on what. And because that was the other thing, I've really started to monitor the amount of sugar I intake. A lot of the soda I drink, I'm a big soda guy primarily. I drink a lot of it for the caffeine. I don't really drink coffee, and sometimes if I need a boost or a pick me up throughout the day, I'll have one. But now what I've started doing is I only drink diet or zero sugar soda, and that is also a game changer, big time, because when you really break down the amount of sugar and stuff that are in these different types of soda, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And now that's what I'm doing. Like I have Coke Zero, and I actually just found at the grocery store Mountain Dew Baja Blast zero sugar, which I was a big Mountain Dew guy. I loved it, and I was a big Baja Blast guy. That was like half the reason I went to Taco Bell all the time. And now I found it in the zero sugar form, and it's great. I love it. And so, and like the other thing too is I used to drink Gatorade sometimes when I would buy sandwiches and stuff at lunch. I don't do that because of the amount of salt and sugar that are just in a Gatorade bottle is disgusting. And I always appreciated Body Armor more in terms of the like sports drink, and Body Armor is a little bit better for you. It's really not the best. There really is no best like standard sports drink, but Body Armor now has like a light version, so I've been trying some of those this week. They've really been good too. Just more of like after I work out, just to kind of get like some other hydration in myself other than water. I drink a lot of water now, and I've been doing that for the last couple of months too. It's been good, but yeah, basically, what this all kind of leads to is just when you start paying attention to how you like what kind of food you intake and how detrimental some of the like fats and calories and things like that can really be, it does really open your eyes to, holy shit, I didn't really think I was intaking that much stuff to what I was burning off. And the funny thing is I yelled it all the time because on my Apple Watch, my goal for calories is set to like to burn like 450 calories a day, which is nothing. And I mean, I've been like quadrupling plus that every single day because I've been burning at least 1,000 calories a day. I try to aim for 1,500, which has been working. And yeah, pretty much that's, the key to that for me. Everybody is different, so take this with a grain of salt. Don't like, follow what I've been doing to a T. This has just been working for me for now. I know for a fact I'm gonna have to clean up my um habits a little bit more, but I basically try not to cheat really, because my biggest thing is once I fall back into that pattern, I'm afraid that I'm going to restart the cycle of eating junk food and fast food and crap like that I don't want to eat anymore. And, that's really what I'm trying to avoid. So the second part of this episode is going to be more music based and how Peloton has kind of helped. Peloton's helped me revolutionize and change my music listening habits. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I was listening to a lot of hip hop and rap, and pretty much I got kind of like bored of it because there's only a couple artists. The couple of artists I listen to a lot in terms of hip hop and rap are Logic, Kid Cudi, J. Cole, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, and like maybe like one or two other guys. And I was getting kind of like bored. And what had happened is I ended up what was it? I ended up taking a couple of pop punk classes, and I started really focusing more on like that type of music. And it's funny because literally, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gone to arguably what was one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life, which was me and two of my friends ended up going to see Blink-182 this year at the Barclays Center. So yeah, I wouldn't have really I wouldn't have gone to that concert if I not started like really enjoying that music again and getting back into pop punk rock, metal music, things like that. It's really just what I've grown back into, and it's been awesome. I mean, I have enjoyed it tremendously, and it's been great. That's pretty much all I listen to now. And I still go back to a couple hip hop artists and things. I still go back to Logic. I literally saw him in June, at the beginning of June. So, but pretty much what I wanted to kind of talk about is how music helps with exercise and how it kind of helps with your state of mind. So, a lot of times I choose the exercise class based off of music, which I mean, I'm sure most people do. It's, you want to work out to the type of music that you enjoy. And it's been great doing that because I've, learned a lot more artists and, kind of remembered, oh, I forgot about this song or things like that. And it's been great. And, obviously the two classes I took live. The first one was a pop punk class. That was a lot of fun. And the second one I took was a metal class, which was hard as shit. I'm not going to lie. And, I hadn't really listened to a lot of metal music up until, like, once I found out that I was off the wait list for that class. I was like, I need to start listening to some music that I think might be played, because otherwise I'm just going to be there kind of like, I don't really remember any of these songs. So, that kind of happened. And now I basically take a lot of, I still take hip hop classes. They're a lot of fun. A lot of 2000s, 2010 classes of like hip hop, rock, pop punk, and those types of things, which are a lot of fun to take. And I really enjoy. Those are probably my favorite classes. Obviously, I've stated before, my favorite ride that my favorite ride probably on Peloton until something better maybe comes out is Linkin Park. I don't think anything can beat that. I'm a huge Linkin Park fan. I was introduced to them via Meteora. Obviously, my brothers had a CD. Yes, I'm dating myself a little bit. I used to have a CD player, and before I had any sort of MP3 player or iPod or anything like that. And so that was like my first introduction to them, and their music has just stuck with me throughout the years. For a while, I wasn't really listening to them, and then I'd get back into them. It'd be great, and then I'd kind of fade out to like some other hip hop or rap, and now it's basically just back in full swing. So like, um, and it the music has helped me personally get through just life. I'm not gonna lie. There's times when I've been down in the trenches, not really knowing a way out, just because I bottle my shit up. I'll be honest. I bottle my shit up, and that's probably part of my social anxiety and some other things going on with me that I don't really let people know how I'm feeling until obviously now. But music and just listening to lyrics has helped me tremendously cope with that. And I think there's just a lot of different songs that can help, like, that can give you not necessarily what you're looking for, but you can kind of, um, you know, sympathize with and, understand and be like, I'm not the only one doing this. For me, for a lot of the time, that was Logic up until more recently. It still is Logic. Obviously, songs like 1-800, that song still to this day is arguably one of the most impactful songs I've probably ever listened to. And it helps. It's just really great song overall. And uh, Anxiety, that song, those are both off of the album Everybody. If you have not given any of those two songs a listen, I highly recommend it. uh Anxiety is him basically talking about having panic attacks, having dealing with anxiety, things like that. It's a fantastic thing, and it's a great song. I still listen to it all the time, and it helps me sometimes if I'm ever feeling like that, because it does happen. I'm not gonna lie, it does happen. There's times when I just am kind of just in a different zone, and I need music to help me get out of that. One song that has helped a lot more recently, even like helped me through this journey a lot too, has been The Adventure by Angels and Airwaves. So obviously, as I stated before, I'm a big, well, no, I'm trying to think. I like Blink 182. I consider myself a fan. I was going to call myself a big fan, but I consider myself a fan. I was lucky enough to see them, and they had brought back their original lead singer, Tom DeLonge, and he left Blink 182 at one point and created a band called Angels and Airwaves. And during one of the Peloton rides I was doing, the Adventure played, and I was riding, listening to the lyrics and stuff, and it it really does resonate with what I'm trying to do right now, where I've kind of put myself on this different adventure. And if you have not listened to that, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic song. The lyrics are great. Um, and it's awesome to when you like sit down and listen to the lyrics of different music and how it can kind of relate to what you're going through or what you're trying to do in your life. And that's kind of why I listen to music literally every day, no matter what. If I'm just like chilling out sitting on the couch, I usually have music on. And if I'm playing video games, I love to have music on, hang out. And so, yeah, literally, that's kind of how music has helped. Music helps me and still helps me to this day. There's so many other songs. Crawling by Linkin Park, another great song for, to kind of match if you need to match it with how you're feeling one day. It's a great song for that. Up All Night by Blink 182 and Feeling This are two great songs. Got to see them performed live. It was awesome. They helped tremendously. Linkin Park's new song off of this year was the 20th anniversary of Meteora, so they released a new album with some new songs that weren't necessarily released on the existing album. Lost, it that song helps a lot when you listen to those lyrics. Linkin Park is a great band. I really enjoy them. And another song that I discovered this year via TikTok actually was Just Pretend by Bad Omens. That song is is a great listen as well. And when just listening, like as I stated before, when you're listening to these lyrics, it helps tremendously with what you're like, it can match just about anything that is going on in your life, or in your mental state, or whatever is going on. And when you use that, it helps tremendously. And I'm speaking from that firsthand because it has helped me tremendously. Music has helped change my mindset multiple times to more positive notes when I was feeling negative and things like that. And it does a great job to really change like the way you think. And it helps so much to have something like that that's just readily available any day of the week, any point in the day, just ready to go. You have your favorite songs you listen to, favorite artists, you throw them on, and nothing else matters. And I think that's part of the reason why I love music so much is the artists I listen to have just these great discographies that have all of these great hits, these great tracks that really do help tremendously. And to kind of be able to hear some of them live, obviously with Blink 182, it was awesome to hear all of their hits live. That was a lot of fun. And for Logic, I've seen most of his hits live. I've seen him a whole bunch of times, and it's always been fun listening to those, just because of the message he spreads, which is great. He spreads the message of peace, love, and positivity, and that's kind of what I've kind of adapted that more into my life now, just because I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be much more positive and, grow as a person, to not necessarily, drawing a blank now, but, to grow as a person and to kind of, be the best version of myself that I want to be, because that's what this whole thing has kind of been about. Is I was not happy with who I was, and I have now since said goodbye to that person and have been introduced to this new me that you guys are listening to to help better myself, which has been great. Because as I said before, I was not great. I'll be the first one to admit that. And yeah, I mean, just the amount of changes that music and nutritional changes can really help you are it's amazing. It really is. So I think that pretty much wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about this week. So thank you all for listening, and